Okay, so this is a recording for the owner before and after clearing this drain. Now the important thing to understand here is that the owner here, we're in St Ives today. We've got access into a sewer line just there, goes up underneath the house, goes down towards the road, or actually the front of the house, and then turns left in front of the house and goes across the front. Now from about where my foot is there, just from here anyway, it goes 29 metres downstream, down to the front corner and then across the front of the house, and connects back up the plastic. So there's 29 metres of old clay pipe. There's a hot water heater just there, just in case somebody else is looking at this video, but there's a hot water heater just there, and that's looking up the side of the house there. Now I was here on Monday. I got told a story about what's happened here, and then I put my camera down the drain, and I was pretty surprised actually. Now the homeowner's been quoted $29,000 to line basically 29 metres of pipe. It's 4-inch sewer. But she was also told, and she's had 3 quotes, but the first person who came out actually claimed that they cleared the line. And they actually haven't cleared the line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the line before I clear it. Now the first person who came claimed that they cleared it. Now when they left, they didn't give her a bill for clearing the drain, but since then I've had to talk to her, and I've explained a number of things to her, the customer, and it seems that the first plumber has deliberately not cleared the drain properly for the purposes of upselling an expensive drainage repair. In other words, showing the customer a drain that's not cleared, that's full of tree roots and grease and etc., and using that as a reason to upsell, to get the customer in a situation where they have to spend the money. So I've explained to her that if the drain's cleared properly, you can maintain the drain without having to spend $30,000 relining it, but it'll still need to be cleaned on a regular basis, and it can be maintained for decades to come. So the purpose of this video is to show you the drain that was supposed to be cleared by the first plumber. Okay, so we'll put the camera in the drain here. Now apparently, just on a side note, I'm going to go up underneath the wall here. There's a bathroom up there where that window is, and we go up underneath the house, changes back to earthenware, but there are roots there. You can see roots at the top of the screen, and there are roots, I saw this on Monday, there are roots there, displaced pipe, and there are more roots there. As we go up, it's an old, rickety old clay line. Sure, it's old, but there's no more roots further up there. So within the first couple of metres there. Now, she wasn't told about those, and it's more than likely that they failed to see it. Anyway, this time we're going to go down that way, underneath that hot water heater towards the front of the property. So we go down that way, and that's PVC, and there is a square junction. That's a square on its side, picking up this branch drain, and that's illegal. You can't put it, whoever did this PVC pipe work in the past didn't do it properly, because that should be a 45 slope junction with a 45 bend, squaring it up. So that's not the plumber that was here on Monday, but that was done in years past. But just as another side note, that's not correct. Anyway, so that makes it very difficult to get the camera up. Oh, no, that's not too bad. Now, that's where the clay starts. So what we're going to do is put the meter counter on there, and you can see where the PVC is, and it connects to the earthenware pipe there. Now, it's a bit of a dodgy joint, and there's a cracked pipe there. You can see a cracked pipe on the right. There's a junction on the left, and that's the only junction in the line. But that crack there, from what I can see, I haven't cleared it yet, so we'll have to clear it to confirm this, but I can't, on Monday I couldn't see any other damaged pipes. There's plenty of roots coming through joints and things, but the actual structure of the drain's in pretty good condition. So we'll carry on from that, and we go down the line. We've got roots coming in there. All the white stuff in the drain is grease. You'll see a lot more of that down the drain. 5 metres. Okay, so now it's actually holding water. It's probably holding water because it's blocked. It's supposed to be cleared. You see the grease on the top of the pipe? Just note that grease on the top of the pipe. Now we're sort of underwater, so the drain is actually blocked. We go around the corner. I think we've gone around the bend at the front. There we go, it's blocked. So let's pull that back. There's the bend. Okay, there's the bend. So that's at the front of the house. Now, you've got a mass of tree roots at the top of the screen coming through the inspection opening, and roots on the right-hand side of the screen there, coming through that joint. So there's been no drain cleaning equipment put through this drain, none at all. As we come down here, we've just got a lot of grease on the top of the pipe. When you've got some roots coming through that joint, again, not a lot. And when a plumber shows a customer this stuff and they show all that stuff on the top of the pipe, that looks pretty devastating, but it's not, it's just grease. Okay, so we come down here, again the drain's blocking up again, lots of toilet paper in the line, have to push that through. It's a bit disappointing. Now she's blocked up there. So as you can see, the drain's blocked. Look at this. This is at 19 metres. Yeah. So can anyone tell me how you can run a water jet down a drain and not remove that? Well, there's been no water jet. There's no drain clearing equipment's been sent down here, and that's been done deliberately. Actually sort of clearing it with the camera, not that the camera's a drain clearing piece of equipment. Anyway, we're at 22 metres, there's another inspection there, but look, all that looks pretty good really, doesn't it? Okay, there's the plastic, 27 metres. So I guess if you were going to line it, you'd probably line it down about there somewhere, which is about 28 metres, but they measured it at 29. So we'll give them that. I mean, if you're out by a metre. But when they're quoting a $29,000 job, a metre makes a big difference. Okay. We'll bring that back. We don't need to go any further because Monday I pushed the camera all the way down to the street. So sometime in the past this drain's been renewed down there, and this section here where it changes back to orange, the old clay pipe. Now as I come back, there's nothing wrong with any of this. Admittedly, I understand that if you were going to line it, you wouldn't patch it. You wouldn't put little patches in everywhere. You would line the 29 metres of pipe. Okay, but what we're trying to establish here is, can you clean the drain and get it cleared and looking nice and clean and operate for 6, 12, 18 months, 2 years, and then have to clean it again? Because this is the point. The point is that the plumbers don't do things properly for the purposes of upselling expensive drainage repairs. That's the whole idea of not cleaning it properly, is so they can pressure the customer into spending lots of money doing things they don't necessarily have to do. So they want to take your choices away from you, the choice of either cleaning it on a regular basis or having to fix it. They don't want you to clean it on a regular basis. They want to make $30,000. Right? So, now, really nothing wrong with any of this stuff down here, and look, we're at 19 metres, so that's really that bottom 10 metres. There's really nothing wrong with that, and we've got a big blob of tree roots here, but that hasn't been cleared, has it? Right, look at that. Lots of grease in there as well. Anyway, so we'll come back. Another big blob of tree roots there. Look, and look at all that white stuff on the top. That's just grease. Should be able to blast that off. Anyway. We'll go back up to 17 metres, we're about halfway. Yeah, I've seen drains in 10 times worse than this, and I'm still servicing them 10 years later. And I'm only going there every 12 or 18 months and spending maybe an hour, might spend 2 hours, but I'll get the drain clear for them and they don't have to spend $30,000. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this going, and I'm just going to do a timestamp. We should have done that at the start. So it's the 16th of the 7th, 2025 at 11:37. I might even leave that one up so we'll know how long it takes. And I won't turn this. Sometimes I turn the recording off and then restart it, and then turn it off and restart it, because I'm going backwards and forwards to the vehicle, getting my equipment set up, and sometimes it's just not worth leaving the recording going. So this time I'm going to leave this recording going now, and you'll see how long it takes me to clean this line up. And then when I've finished, I'm going to show you a clean line, which will be contrary to what the plumber said when he was here on Monday. Yeah, so because some bozo years ago put in a square junction here instead of a slope junction, my water jet, just pushing that's now going back the wrong way. Right? If this was done properly in the first place, I wouldn't have a problem getting my equipment down there, but now I do. So we're going to try and spin it. Hang on. There we go. Oh, I got it. Okay. So now we're going down through, you can see down there, right, there's my, now this isn't a root cutter, this is a penetrator, so I'm actually going to penetrate all this, and if I can get everything out of this drain with this penetrator, well, that'll tell you that, because when you've got heavy tree roots, this nozzle here is not powerful enough to get them out. It's used for a different purpose. Now, if I can get this drain clear using this nozzle, then that really does say something about what happened on Monday. Right? I know what happened on Monday, because I'm not stupid. So I've just got to pull that out. I'm going to send this down. Just for the record, I don't run scams on my customers. I tell them the truth and I do a good job. I'm getting sick and tired of I come across these jobs all the time. cleaning hose. This is the feed hose, this hose here. There's the tap. So I've only got that much hanging out of the drain. This hose is around about 30 metres long. I clear about 95% of all the drains I clear with 30 metres of hose. Now I've only pushed the hose slowly down the drain to the end of the hose, so it's only one pass. Unless it's only a simple waste blockage. A simple waste blockage you can clear with one pass, but when you've got tree roots in the drains, you might have to run this machine up and down the drain half a dozen times. You might have to run it up and down a dozen times. But just for the purpose of this, I'm going to see, we'll have a look and see what one pass does. This is all looking pretty good up here with one pass. Incredible. Something really big there. Oh, yeah. Lots of stuff there. We'll have to work on that probably with a recutter. Yeah, big blob there. Look, that's all grease. That's all grease. I'm going to push it. That's a big blob of grease there. What can I do to get rid of that? So I push that big blob of grease down there. Okay, so there's my. Okay, there's the jetter head. That hose is perfect for this drain. Look at that. Alright, so we didn't get a good look down the bottom here, but again, that's all, there's lots of grease in it. This may take just a few passes, so what I'm going to do is, once you get grease on the camera lens, it's grease, so you know, that sort of effect. So see this stuff here, all these roots. What I'm going to do is pull this back. Inside that grease ball in front there is my jetter head. Where is it? Just there. Just there. There it is. So I've just pulled it back in front of that there. I'm just going to pull this back a bit. Oh, more it's there. We just had a 5-second, 30-second blast at those. We got most of those out. What have we got down here? Some more there. Okay. Yeah. And then we've got. That's pretty much it. there. Okay, I'm going to have to run the root cutter down to get those out. Okay, so I just got 95% of everything in that drain is now gone. There's just a few wispy tree roots. And again, the roots that you can see left in the drain, most plumbers won't remove them, but I will. I'll get the drain really clean. Okay, so this one here is going to get out the rest of those tree roots and clean that line right up. And then I'll show you, well, we'll put the camera down while we're doing it and we'll have a look at it. Again, I've got to get round the dodgy junction. I don't know what they teach plumbers at TAFE College these days. I don't know what sort of people other plumbing companies are employing, but they need to do better than this. Okay, so now we're down the drain. Just leave that in the drain just there before the junction, or just at the junction. Just have to clean the camera head because it gets a lot of grease on here on this lens. Okay, so as you can see, I'm down another 30 metres at the end of that hose. That only took me about 60 seconds, maybe a minute and a half, 90 seconds, 2 minutes maybe, to get that root cutter 30 metres down the drain. There we go. Okay, now the whole idea of using a root cutter is you send the root cutter all the way to the end without looking, and then when it's down the end, you go down and inspect the line. As you pull the camera back, if you come across tree roots, then you use the camera to position the root cutter where it needs to be to cut those roots. It's the quickest, most efficient way to clear drains, and it saves time and it saves money. So what we're doing now is we're going down, looking at the line. I can do this very quickly because I do it all the time. Sometimes if a customer's standing next to me, geez, on the way down it nearly got rid of all those roots in that inspection. I'll do it a lot slower for the customer so they can see. There's still some there. Still some there. If you understand what I'm going to do, you have to inspect all that line. There's an inspection there. A big blob of tree roots. See, look at those tree roots I've just blasted off. And there's my root cutter there. Look at the roots. Now what I'm going to do is I've just got to get rid of those roots there because they're only loose in the pipe. So let me turn that on. Let's just see if they're gone now. There's the nozzle of the root cutter, right there. So we're just into the plastic. Okay. Now we can see there's no roots down there now. There was only some loose ones. Pull this back. Drains all nice and clean. Okay, so you can see those roots there on the left. They're just loose. The roots I've cut off and they're just sitting on top of the hose. Now we've got a big blob of roots there, but that, now I'm pushing that, see how I'm pushing it down the drain? And it's stuck on the hose. If you look at the meter counter, 25, 25 and a half, 26, 27. Now I pushed it all the way down to where the root cutter is, so I may be able to blast them off now. Hang on. Yep, they're gone. Hang on, they're loose. Yeah, they're loose. It's stuck under my camera head now. Okay, they're loose. Okay, no roots there now. These roots. Oh no, it's another ball of roots. Right, so that's loose in the drain. Just try something. Yeah, they're definitely loose. Going to flush some water down there, see if I can get rid of them without having to. It'll take a little while for that water to come down. Okay, oh, there it is. Let's see if we can wash them off. Now, pull that back. Yeah, there they go. There they go. Okay, they're going down. Yep. Hang on. Don't know why. Oh, there it is. Didn't go all the way. There's that roots. It's still stuck on my jetter head. Okay, I'm just going to give that a blast. Hang on. Must have been a big blob of roots. Okay, it's gone too. Right, there we go. No roots there, no. All clean. All clean. Okay, so there's roots coming through there. So what we need to do is we need to pull the root cutter back. Put it right there. We pull the camera back so that we've got more roots there. I'll see if I can get that, clear that in one. Instead of doing it twice, I'll see if I can do it once. Just for the record, that one there is at 18 metres and that one there is at 19 metres. Okay, so 18 and 19 metres. Still some there at 18 metres. Might have been better to do it at one. There's still some there. Again, most plumbers wouldn't get them out. We'll give it another go. Maybe better just deal with one at a time. Okay, that's it. There we go, 19 metres, all the roots gone. Yeah, probably better doing it one at a time. Okay, well, that was a little pain in the butt, that one. That's clear. Okay, come back. I think we're done. Yeah. Oh, I've got to get those. There's a couple up there, see at the top of the screen. Now, because we're on a bend, that root cutter may not get those out. Anyway, we'll give it a go. Okay, there's the root cutter. Give that a go. Nearly all of them. I'll give it another go. Look at that. That's like brand new. Can't even see a tree root in sight. Yeah. Yeah, so the guy that was here on Monday, truly a dipshit. Excuse the French, but he's a dipshit. By the way, the customer hasn't told me who this is. I don't know who it is. I probably wouldn't say it on the video. As I say, if they know who they are and they're watching this, I suggest you stop doing what you're doing and start. If someone calls you to clear their drain properly, come and clear it properly. Stop running drain scams. Oh look, I said I'd get it totally clean. Look at that little root up the top there. Well, it's either that joint, not sure what joint it was, or it was that joint, because my wood root cutter's just there, and when I finish cutting, You see the roots hanging on the root cutter there. When I finish cutting, I always let the root cutter go down the drain about 400 mils before I turn it off, because generally then, if I've cleaned it really well, and you look at that joint there, you can't see any roots. So I'm generally speaking, well, there's a root on the bottom of the pipe, but generally speaking, once you see the root cutter, you come back to the next joint, and that's the one I probably was clearing. Yeah, it's not these ones up here. What's that? A little bit of grease. Don't worry about that. Okay, and now we're out. So just so you know, the timestamp at the top of the screen is when I turn the camera on, but when I got here, hang on. Just let that go to voicemail because I want to get this done. Okay, hang on. So I use a timer system. It's a timer system like this, and you can see. So when I arrive, I turn this timer on, and then when I finish doing the job, I turn the timer off. So this timer says I've been here 1 hour and 31 minutes. Okay, 1 hour and 31 minutes. So getting here, having a chat with the customer, setting up my equipment, getting all the camera equipment and all the water jet equipment up here, cleaning the whole drain, 29 metres of drain, getting all the tree roots and the grease out of it and cleaning it up perfectly. It's taken me 1 hour and a half. Okay, now the plumber that was here on Monday, he didn't do any of that. Now what's happened is that because the customer is now not going ahead with the larger pipe relining job because the drain's now clean, they've sent her a bill for clearing the drain. Go figure that. Like, unbelievable. Do they not think they're going to get caught out? It's just unbelievable. And not only that, we're talking about vulnerable people being taken advantage of here, and I just don't do that. I can't compromise my values and rip people off. So we're going to have one last look at this. Hang on. I'll just pull this jetter hose out. Now the reason why it's important to watch this video is because about 95 out of every 100 people who have blocked drains have this sort of scam run on them. Okay, that's important to understand. That if you have your drains cleared by somebody and they tell you that it can't be cleared, or it's too dangerous to put their equipment down the drain, or it's not, it's got to be relined for $30,000 or $20,000, or it's all got to be dug up, 95% of the time that's not necessary. Okay, so we're going to go down and have one final look at it. So look, the only broken pipe is that little crack there. See that crack on the right? Yeah, sure, that might have to be fixed one day. It's got roots coming through it, but you could probably keep cleaning the roots out of that there for the next 15 years without spending 30 grand. Anyway, so we come down here. That's just a loose root in the pipe just there. Or is that coming out of that joint? Hang on. Oh, that's interesting. Can't see if it's coming out of that joint. Let me just put some water down there. there we go. Yep. So loose roots get caught on joints and they look like they're coming out of the joint. Oh, that is, that's a leaf. It looks like a leaf. Yeah. Okay. So if you just, it might pay you to go back to the beginning of the video and watch the first part again and have a look how bad this drain was. In my experience, it wasn't a bad drain. I mean, it was full of grease and had roots in it, but I've cleared one's a lot worse. But look at this. This is like, this drain is like the same condition now that it was when it was installed 60 years ago. A little bit of grease on the top of the pipe. But the customer's going to have this drain cleared on a regular basis because the roots will grow back. Right, so why would you spend $30,000 lining these pipes when you only got to spend a few $100 every 12 months or every 18 months getting it clean? There we go. There's the plastic. See, if you just keep going, that's all plastic pipe down there. It's all been replaced in the past, and it's more than likely that this new PVC pipe that was installed down here, they ran the same scam. The drain could have been cleared and maintained, and you wouldn't have had to spend tens of thousands of dollars putting new pipes in. Sure, if you've got new pipes or you've got a pipe that's lined, you don't have to clean it. It may block up, but it won't block up with tree roots. But this drain here is in remarkable condition with a few tree roots growing through the joints. For somebody that's got to scrape and steal from some go and rob a bank to put a $30,000 pipe, a liner in this drain, I mean, this lady has to go and rob a bank. She doesn't have $30,000. It's crazy. Why do these plumbers do it? My advice is, if you're going to rip people off, go and rip off rich people. Don't rip off people like this. You should be ashamed of yourself. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the customer around and I'm going to show her a clean drain because she had a look at this Monday and saw it as you saw it at the beginning, and let this be a lesson to everybody who calls plumbers to clear their drains. There's a very specific way, things that you've got to talk to with plumbers on the telephone about what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. And plumbers who don't run scams, they charge for their services in one way, and the plumbers who scam their customers charge for their services in another way. If you know which way the honest plumbers charge, you won't get ripped off. So I'm just going to go and get the customer and show her a clean drain and see what she says. I nearly forgot. We've got these roots up underneath the house here that I've got to get rid of, so hang on. I nearly didn't do a thorough job myself. Hang on. Well, that's what we first looked at. That was up there. These little roots here. So I've just pushed that up by hand to, and just so you know, hang on, just move that. So just so you know, this drain goes around there, goes all the way up to there, and then goes to a 2-inch pipe. There's a 2-inch waste line. It's a little waste line from a hand basin or something, or I'm not sure, but that's a little looks like 40mm pipe or 50. Looks like 40mm pipe, and it's got a little bit of grease in the drain. Might be the kitchen actually. Not sure, but it's only got roots. Right, no roots there, no roots there, no roots there. And there's my root cutter. Hang on, we've got roots up there. No, actually there. Oh, they're on the root cutter. Right, okay, so no roots there. Right, we've got some there. I'm only going to do about a metre of drain here, so just get that to there. Yeah, so just pull it out. There we go. Clean as a whistle. Only took me a couple of minutes. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to go and get the customer.
Known about you before I got the other thing done last year.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, if you come up here.
Yep, I probably should have got shoes on, but anyway.
Oh, you haven't got shoes?
I've got slippers.
Oh. Well, I've got a broom now. I did clean
I'm
this.
going to bring this with me
Yep,
to
that's my broom,
my
yep.
back is I should have brought a stick. Okay, you want me to stand up here? Yep.
Well, it's a broomstick.
Yes, that's right. It works.
Okay, so you see the...
Yep, yep,
Right.
yep.
But that's recording, right? Okay. Now, remember I went up there. Okay, so I cleaned all that up there. Look at the screen. There's no roots.
Wow.
It's all gone.
Yeah, that's
Now, the main one is going the other way, down that way. You get to that dodgy bend, and then now remember, the only pipe I found that was cracked was that crack in the pipe here.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Actually, I'm just going to take that time stamp off. Right. The counter there is 0, 0.
Yes.
Right, meaning that we're just starting.
Mm-hmm.
That's that junction for that gully.
Mm-hmm.
And as we go down, that's just a leaf. That's just what
Yep.
it is. It's a leaf.
Yes, yes, it's
yeah.
one.
Yeah, okay. Look how clean this. No, there's not even no broken pipes.
Fantastic.
None whatsoever. All the joints are perfect.
And our clean,
right? And all the roots have been cut away. That's another leaf. Let's get past that. Yeah. Oh, another leaf. Well, they kept going. Yeah, they kept going. Yeah, they kept going in. And we come down. This is the bend. Remember, we had all those roofs coming. Look at that, brand new.
Oh, my goodness.
And then we come round the corner. Another leaf. So when you flush your toilet, it'll all get flushed out. Yeah. And then we're up to 17 metres. It's all absolutely like brand new. Like this is the same condition it was when this drain was laid 60 years ago, whatever it was.
Oh goodness.
Right. It's just that the roots will grow back.
Yes. Yeah.
So it will need cleaning on a regular basis, but I mean, as I said, you may get away with it for 12 months, maybe 18 months, or even longer. There's the plastic. There we go, we're at 27 metres. So, on Monday, he never cleared the drain. I don't know how you feel about having to pay for that. But, and how long was he here?
An hour.
It's just, look, so I start this, when I get here, I start this time. So I've been here for an hour and 47 minutes. What the hell did he do here for an hour if he didn't clear the drain? I mean, even on Monday when I was here, I had to camera survey this, and I did it a number of times, but I was still here for at least an hour or so. So,
you were, yes.
So he really only did what I did. And then, anyway, so I just wanted to show you that. That's all clean, that's all clean.
That's amazing.
And that's now, the other thing I need to just talk to you about was, I've only looked up there, and I've only cleaned down to there. I can only rely on what you've told me, that you've had all this other stuff done, and I have pushed the camera all the way down to the front fence to see all that plastic.
Right. Yeah, I think you showed me that.
Yeah. But you've got other lines in other places, so and I haven't seen any of those.
No.
Right. So if you have, I'll guarantee you here, this is not going to block up.
No.
Right. But I haven't seen any of the rest. So if you have any problems in the short term in other parts of the house, well, we may have to deal with those. But as far as this part's concerned, it's relief. Yeah. How do you feel now? Pretty good.
I feel very angry with that.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Anyway, look, they shouldn't do it.
That looks brilliant.
And if you call someone to come and clear your drain, this is what they should be doing.
Yeah, well, it's spotless. I mean, compared to what I saw the other day, after you said it's bent.
It's faulty, but there's no shifting pipes. There's no other than this little crack in the pipe up here. That's all there is.
Yes.
Okay, and this, I'm not doing this for you as a special job.
No,
this is what I do every day.
That's right. Yeah.
Every time I clear a block drain, I clear it like this. And I don't upsell drainage repairs. I don't try and con people into spending tens of thousands of dollars.
That they don't need to.
No. Okay. All right. So if you'd like to go back.
Yes, I will.
And make yourself comfortable.
Yep, I'll get out of the way.
I've just got to pack up. Yeah,
Yep.
I've got to pack up, and then I'll come back to the front
Yeah.
door.
Okay. Yep. I'll hang around.
I might. Would it be too forward of me to ask for another coffee?
Absolutely. I'll do it now. It'll be ready when you get
I really like that.
Yeah, we do too.
Yeah, really good.
I can't survive. I only had a couple of days, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Okay. So the customer's happy with that. Now I'm just going to finish off by saying, and this might sound harsh, but some people sometimes just have to learn the hard way. Plumbers who rip their customers off or take advantage of them, they don't go looking for those customers. Right? The customers who get ripped off go looking for those plumbers. They go looking for them because they're looking for the wrong things. If you want to employ an honest plumber that does a good quality job at a realistic price, you need to understand how the plumbing industry operates and the way that plumbers charge for their services and under what circumstances they use that particular type of pricing method. Because if you don't know that, there's a 95% chance you're going to get ripped off. Anyway, that's the end of the video, and hopefully if there's anyone out there that has either had this done to them or they've in the middle of this and they're trying to decide whether they're going to spend $20,000 or $30,000 relining or digging up all their drains, you need to have a second thought about it and get a second opinion. But if you get a second opinion and you end up calling a similar plumber that's running a scam on you in the first place, then the second plumber will do the same thing, because I'm the fourth plumber here to look at this drain. So the first one did it, the second one did it, the third one did it, and now I'm the fourth plumber, and I've just saved her $30,000. Be very careful. Anyway, have a nice job, a nice day. I'm off to my next job.